Muy buenos días, bienvenidos a este nuevo espacio, webinar, en el que compartiremos con el profesor Serge Gerin-Lajoie de la Universidad TELUQ, que nos acompaña desde Quebec, algunas experiencias y elementos clave sobre el uso y la apropiación de los elementos necesarios para la educación a distancia. El profesor Serge Gerin-Lajoie nos va a compartir su conferencia exclusivamente en inglés. Si alguno de ustedes tiene alguna inquietud, comentario, puede transmitirlo directamente o en el momento en el que estemos retransmitiendo esta presentación. Agradecemos al profesor Serge su participación en este espacio. Vamos a comenzar la participación de una vez con la presentación, profesor Serge. Si desea, please, present you.
Gracias. Thank you. Is it possible to see?
Yes. Application. Yes.
First of all, I want to say I apologize for my voices. I have some problem today, but it will be okay. Maybe I lost my voice at the end, but
no problem.
That's happened.
Yes.
The title of my presentation, I try to put it in Spanish. It's Educación a distancia, educación para todos.
Okay, thank you.
Who I am? Before 2007, I was young, I was pretty, I was a science teacher, a musician, a military musician, and a lot of stuff. And between 2007 and 2017, I was an instructional designer in distance education, specialized in distance education at Laval University, another university in Quebec City. And at this moment, the Laval University is the most important distance education university in Canada. And this university, it's a bimodal university. You have face-to-face courses, hybrid courses, and distance education courses. Approximately 15% of these courses are in distance, full distance education. What I do there during 10 years, I work on course development, program development, administration advisor. For example, if a faculty want to do distance education but doesn't know how to do it, I give advice and counseling about that. And since 2017, I'm professor specialized in distance education and educational technology at University TELUQ. University TELUQ is a full distance education university. We don't have a classroom and we don't have a student in our building, except the graduate student, but we don't have first grade student. And sometimes when the students come at my office, I say, "Oh my God, it's a student! What I have to do with that?" It's funny, and many times we go in many offices to see the other professors. It's funny things about us. What is the TELUQ University? It was founded in 1972. It was the same model like the British Open University, a full distance education university, and it was the same goal like the British Open University. It was about how to share the knowledge and how to give accessibilities to the student everywhere on the province of Quebec, but around the world too. In 2017, it was the only one French university only in distance education. We have 20,000 students per year. We have more than 400 courses and 80 programs at every grade, in every grade, first grade, second, and third grade. We have, the slide is wrong, we have 98 professors at this moment, and we have more than 30,000 students have finished a grade in our university. Who are the...
Yes, Paul.
Okay. Who are the students at TELUQ? But I have to
Okay.
remember it.
Okay. Yes.
We have 71% of our students are female and 29 male. 64% are between 20 and 34 years old. Our students are a little bit more age than the traditional university. 90% of our students is in say part-time student. Many of them have to manage family, working, have to manage a lot of things, and the distance education is a great way for the student to take one course per semester and take 5-6 years to complete a grade. And another important fact is 64% of our students are first generations students. How can I say that? It's our 64% of our students. It's the first students in his family do
university.
Go to the university, and that changed. That's an interesting fact, and we have to deal with that because many of our students doesn't know what is doing study at university, and sometimes we have to take care about that, especially when the student is a first course and the first semester at TELUQ. This graph show to you how where is the TELUQ are where the importance of the course that we give in Quebec. The green line is TELUQ, and the higher one is Athabasca University. It's the English version of TELUQ in Quebec and Canada. It's like the British Open University, but it's for English people. And you see the red line. It's what happened with the Laval University. It was turned in 2007, and in 2017, it was the most important in Canada because the gap between Athabasca and Laval has been closed. And I can say it's because I was at Laval University, because I was there in 2007 and I finished there in 2017.
Yeah.
No, it's a lot of instructional designer and a lot of things happened in this university, and moved to give more opportunity to do distance education courses. And at the end, many of the students at Laval University loved and liked the flexibility, because you take 3 or 4 courses in face-to-face courses, and take another or 2 other courses in distance education, and they have a lot of flexibility during the semester, and like that, and teachers like that too. In Quebec, many other universities, you see the logo in the back. Practically all of the university in Quebec do distance education, but we don't have data about how much. But we know that it's under the blue line. It's under the Montreal University. And the only one other important is Concordia. It's an English university, and it do probably the same like TELUQ in Quebec. But that's the reality in Quebec. Interesting fact about Laval University: he started to do the first course in distance education was doing in 1984. It's not far. And actually, they have 988 courses. They do MOOCs. They have a program in full distance program, full program, and it's some things happen at Laval University that and many other universities doesn't know, ask question about what happened there, but the people at Laval University doesn't know what happened. He do well, and the increase of the distance education at this university working well. Why I talk about Laval University? It's because I was there during 10 years, And it's my background. It's one of my background. My expertise is in distance education. I am at the Universidad TELUQ. I'm professor since 2017. 70. But I was, let's say, a tutor at this at TELUQ University since 2008. I have a lot of experience at TELUQ, but I have experience at Laval University, and that's my background for my expertise. And I see a lot of things, and I work on many projects in the two institutions too. And what I will say today, it's based on that. For example, at Laval University, I work on 76 courses in Faculty of Music, Art, Design, Architecture, Medicines, Science, Engineering, International Relations, Education, Nursing. You see, for me, we can do distance education in many domains except swimming. That's the only one.
Of course.
But it's possible to do distance education.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it possible to somebody else?
Right now there is no
question, no comments. Okay.
Welcome to our student, Gabriela Alfaro. She's a student from our baccalaureate in Spanish and language. She was very excited to know you and your experience from distance education. So welcome to Gabriela.
Hi, how are you?
Fine. You?
We are going broadcasting our webinar about distance education and their TELUQ experience from Serge Gerin-Lajoie. Excuse me.
It's okay. It's hard to say. In English, it's hard to say my name, and in French, we have some accent, and it's the pronunciation is different, and it's hard for many people to say Serge Gerin-Lajoie.
Okay.
Monsieur parle en français?
Oui. C'est Gabriela. Okay. So go ahead with your presentation.
Yeah.
I will share again your. Okay.
Okay. What do you say at this moment in the?
No problem.
What do we see at this moment on the screen? It's a typology of courses at your left. It's a face-to-face courses. After that, the other one, it's face-to-face with say you add ICT on this. It's for example, if you ask to the student to see a YouTube video or something like that from our homework and come back to the class after, it's presents with plus ICT. The other one it's a face-to-face course, and you add an extension online. For me, the best example is about that is you put professors in the classes, and you put a camera in the back, and the student can, like a webinar, listen to the teacher, but it's not all the time possible to the student at distance to ask questions, or it's like it's a unidirectional teaching. It's an extension for the student online. For me, it's not a good distance education because it's difficult for the student, the real student at distance, to follow the course and to participate or exchange with the student in the class and the professors. But it's a distance courses. The hybrid course is when you redesign your course and face-to-face and distance parts, and you can do 0 to 100%. It's between it's between 0 and 100%. It's a hybrid course. The other one, it's online asynchronous. It's most of our course at TELUQ. It's online and asynchronous. The students take his own paces to do module, do a block of learn knowledge and many things like that. The other one, it's online but synchronous. That's another interesting thing. It's an interesting type of courses. It's for many institutions, it's an easy way to do distance educations, but because it's easy, because it's I say online synchronous. It's like we like to transfer face-to-face courses and put online. And but the bad things about that is you transfer the problem you have in face-to-face and you put online, and the online things increase some problem. If you have problem with a class with 50 students, you put online and synchronous, it will be
how to manage.
Yeah, how to manage that. And you have to, the solution is to design a fine design tuning and say use breakout room bills, but you have to design that, plan that, implement that before you do your sessions. And it's a lot of job for the professors to do that. And at the end of the seminar or the sessions, you have to restart again. You lost everything. You have your PowerPoint, but we have to redesign, re-implement, reuse
a new population.
Yeah. The other one, it's a hybrid. I call it hybrid online or a blended learning. It's a mix with asynchronous and synchronous courses. For example, sometimes students have to do asynchronous working, and many times in the semester or in the course, session with synchronous sessions are made. It's a blended online courses. They have some advantage and limits too, but it's a sometimes we need to exchange in synchronous time. It's in solutions, and the course at your right, it's a flexible or iFlex courses. It's a gold course for institutions. It's for students. Every day or every week, the student can choose if he want to go in classroom, if he want to do the job in the synchronous or in synchronous too. He choose at every week. It's more flexibility for students. If they say, oh, I want to go in the classroom, I go, or next week I stay at home and I do the job. So that's the most. Okay. What is distance education? What is distance education? The graphics you can say it's the most simple graphics, but many institutions and many professors doesn't know or forget about what is distance education. Distance education is how to give access or knowledge of one institution to students, children to old people. And you have to think about, actually, it's most online courses with a platform like, say, Moodle and another type. But it's, again, TV courses or radio courses, and now it's podcasts, use podcasts. It's like radio courses. MOOC, it's many times with video, it's like, say, broadcasting courses. And correspondent courses are distance education course too. And sometimes we have to say, remember that, because especially when you work with people doesn't have access for internet. So many institutions say, oh, we will do online courses. Yeah, but your course needs high-speed internet, but many people don't have access to that kind of internet. You have to think about that. That's distance education. It's more global than online courses. Online courses, for me, it's only one type of distance education. Fun fact, it's in the past at TELUQ University, we went to send the didactical material. It was writing, it's correspondent courses, but the post facilities doesn't work in this country. And when we send the material, that it never go in the village and the city needed. And the way we find how to distribute the material, it was to use the we talk with the company who send beer, because the beer all the time go in the village. We put some box in the truck, and the material go to the village. But the other way to send the material, that doesn't yeah. Another part, an important part in the distance education, it's yes, you have professors write the material, the text, or do the video, and a lot of things about that. Many type of material, didactical material. But the other important part, it's the support for the students. Online courses for a professor, it's not only give answer by email. It's think, when you design your courses and do your material, you have to think which questions the student ask about about the content, which problem he will have when he do the exercise. You have to think about that, and because if you have questions, it's not easy for the students to pull up the hand and say, I have a questions. I'm in distance, and it's important to work to think about the support and how I have to support the students. And I will return on that, but it's like tutoring. In the distance education, we have the word tutor, but professors have to take time, manage time to give the right answer to the students. So it's really important. And the other important parts for in institutions when you do distance education, it's all of these service that the student can have in a university have to be available for our students in distance educations. For example, the most simple example, it's the library. If you ask the student, if you want to read more about that, take this book and this book, but the student and in distance, maybe you want to read this book in library. Is it possible to the library to send the book and return to the library at the end? It's the most simple example, but it's the same about the counseling. It's the same about the administration, say operations. It's the same. Many services that the students can have on campus have to be available for distance education, and that changed many things. That's a lot of things to think when an institution starts to do the distance education. Another example, students with disabilities. You have to think,
how to prepare material.
Prepare material and give services and give supports for the students. You have to think about that. It's not impossible. You have to think about that and be sure you do well, because the students pay the same fees or main school. You have to pay for the same price than the student on campus. You have you have the right to ask the same service. Okay. Like I said, distance education need an important part, and that's not important, a vital part. It's the student supervision and supports. The supervision and the supports came from the institutions. For example, administrative parts, technical parts. Students in distance have some problem with the computer, where he has questions, where he receive answer. The other supports can be provided by the program activities. For example, if in a program they have a webinar, they it's possible to have webinar. It's possible to share the good work by the students, conference. Say, in my university, in the second grade, we have what is it? The name, my appointment. It's a program tutor. What is it? It's when the students are started in a program in at the master level. I receive a letter say this student start this program and you are monitoring. Yeah, it's like monitoring, but for the word we say, it's I am his godfather.
Yes.
And I received the letter. I take 1 month, and after 1 month, I send an email to these guys or this student and say, "Is it okay? Do you take your courses? Do you choose your course?" And I will be his godfather to the beginning of his program. And when he chooses his subject for the masters or the essay, if it's with me, I will stay his godfather. But if he chooses to do an essay with another colleague, he moves to the other colleague. But I have 30. I have 30 students. I have to give some support to how to choose the course. Give some help about motivations. Gives take time to have exchange about what is your what will be your project for your memories, your master?
More than academic matters.
Yeah. But it's an example of activity that the program do. And the other part, it's the course supervisions, and it's many aspects and many dimensions can be can be not available. It can be appear comes in the exchange with in the exchange with the students about the cognition. I don't understand what I read. I don't understand about something. Okay, what you don't understand, or what you have to ask some question to the student to give help about learning the content. Sometimes it's about the metacognitions. About how do you do your planning to do this task, and in the middle, is it okay at the end? Is it the right way to do this task? It's about the metacognitions. Sometimes it's about the motivations. Sometimes it's about the methodological. You say, I will, how you will do this task. I will use a concept mapping. Okay, it's a methodology, but sometimes concept mapping is not great. Sometimes you have to do other thing in the other process. It's that kind of support you can have to give to the students. The social part, social dimensions. For example, if the students say, "Oh, I see something on the TV yesterday. It's related to the courses," I send an email to each student or send a post on the discussion board and say, "Okay, there's a part in it's interaction, but it's a social things," and we know that social things in a course in distance education can provide a feeling about I'm in the courses with other students, and that give more motivational that give more motivations to student to continue the courses. We know that affectivity, how I feel about this content. Sometimes students feel bad, feel great, but if you feel bad, you have to support them to be sure you stay on with the courses and go on that. Yes, we do that in face-to-face courses, but in distance, it's not only reaction about the students say or the question asked, is to be aware about that. Before you have to anticipate to think about that before that's happier. Be sure you have the right tool to give a great answer to give to the students. That's like I say, I put in the slide, is it prevent problems before they comes and use the good process, method, and tool for helping students at distance. That's you have to think about that
before it happens.
Yeah, before that happens. And sometimes we don't have an answer and say, okay, give me 1 day and I will come. Sometimes that's happened too, because every student is different, and the needs of each is different. In the solution, it's not the same solution for all. What I write on this slide, it's a resume about the importance of supervision and support for the students. If a good support are made in a bad design courses at distance, That's it. A good support can save a bad design courses in distance education, but a bad support can kill or broke the better distance courses. We see a really good course, but the interaction with the professors kill the learning experiences of the students.
Even the good material.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe any question or comments? We have some people here in our broadcasting, but Gabriela, had you a question? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Your question. No. Yes.
Selon votre information, les méthodes d'apprentissage et les méthodes constructivistes, parce que c'est la formation de toutes les personnes. Votre méthode
We use
traditionnelle, parce que intérêt tous les.
In distance education, we can use all of them. The first correspondent courses are made like behaviors, and now with the second wave of courses are better in the same cognitivist courses approach. But now with the technological tool for communication, it's more easy to do constructivist and socio-constructivist or social-cognitivist and connectionist, but connectionist. It's like an utopia or it's a dream, but it's an idea. It's not impossible. But for me, in distance education, every theoretical approach are possible in distance education. In my courses, one of my most important courses is a pedagogical vision in education. It was designed on a cognitivist approach, and the students have to know about him and about how you learn and how about I have a lot of exercise on metacognition exercise, and the feelings about the contents too, and he work on his vision of education, and at the end, he know his vision is different from other visions, and he respect that. And there is no better visions. You only have to know that's different, and these visions are transfer and translate in course that you made, and it's the same for in institutions. Some institutions are more barriers than other. The divisions can be at the level of students, the department or institutions. But that's one of my courses. I work a lot about cognitions and know how to you learn, as students learn. That's my course. But I have I do some course more constructivist. In constructivist, there are a lot of family a lot of things are easy to do in these educations because respect the flexibility, respect the pacing for the students, respect the different way to think. It's more easy because in asynchronous courses, it's more you learn and you are alone a lot of time, but you develop a big parts of autonomy. And constructivism is like that. It's how you understand your environment or your world. That's the constructivist. It's not for me. Constructivist is not a learning theory. It's a learning. It's a theory about how you understand your world, and everyone understand as well in a way. Many of them we share some parts of our understanding. That's socio-constructivist, but at the end, it's only me and my world. That it's more easy to do that in distance education because each student learn at home. Maybe sometimes they do the homework with They're students in the same course, but I'd say most of them it's one or it's alone. It's a alone process.
Les temps sera et accorder les temps des professeurs ou maintenant par exemple si je travaille tous les temps et je tombe toute la nuit je peux faire mes cours pour les nuits.
Oui.
Ouais. Oui. Pas de problème.
No, there's no problem. Especially in asynchronous courses, it's easy to, if you want to do your course in 1 week, you can.
La flexibilité, c'est bon.
Yeah, it's really flexible courses and synchronous. But if you do synchronous courses and the sessions are one or two per week, you have to wait for the sessions. Yeah. It's less flexible for the students. Yeah.
For some people, it works. For other.
But that's worse. But I think it's my perceptions. Many students say, it's fun the synchronous courses, but it doesn't know or doesn't do or doesn't learn in asynchronous courses and see the advantage of that kind of courses. And the other things about that is many students like to go in a classroom because the professor in front say what to learn, and it's more easy to take the hands out, write some notes, and listen. But in asynchronous courses, nobody will say to you
anything.
You have to read, you have to listen, you have to do a lot of things, and it's more hard.
You have to take more discipline.
Yeah, it's more hard, but that's learning. That's learning. Yeah. There's another question? No? Okay. Do you have another? No?
Yes, cool.
Okay. What I show in this slide is it's a work in progress, but I think it's interesting at this moment is why we're doing distance education. In this slide, it's for students. And what is the advantage and the limits to do distance education? And I use the same typology of courses, and I put the same bold rectangle on each column. But what I want to show in this is it's possible to think about some dimensions and do the comparison between all kind of courses for the students. I do this work. I work on that since a few weeks, and I will finish in January because I have a presentation about that. But for me, it's a good work to do to give answers to the students, professors, and the institutions to take a decisions about what kind of distance education we want to implement in our institutions. For example, personalizations in face-to-face courses. It's not really it's not really possible. Every student it's in a classroom, and teacher most of the time only teach. That's it, and no personalization is possible. But if you do distance education, you have a work to do. Choose your subject, and maybe all of students have a different subject, and that's okay. It's about that, the personalization. And if you have a flexible courses, it's personalization, because this week I want to go in class, but next week I stay at home. It's more personalization.
Yeah.
The other thing is the cost for do the study.
Le prix.
Yeah, le prix. in class, in face-to-face, okay, you have your scholarships you have your fees to pay, but it's not more expensive than if you have a course on computer. You need a computer, you have to buy a computer. If you go online, it's more expensive than staying face-to-face.
C'est très cher en présentiel.
Oui, c'est cher. I don't talk about the price for take your course in an institution, because it's the same for distance, like face-to-face. But if you take online courses, you have to buy some things different. That's what. The other things, it's socializations. Socializations are more easy on campus.
Yeah.
Then it's distance education. Yeah, it's more easy. It's good for the face-to-face, but it's less for the distance education. For students, we have to understand that. The accessibilities. Yeah, the accessibilities. Students, if the course are only in face-to-face, you have to go to the campus to take the courses. Then distance education, you can stay at home, maybe anywhere in the world. You don't go on this campus because you take the course at this university. The accessibility is different.
Yeah.
That's what I show in this slide for the students. The other, why doing distance education for students and teachers? The other dimension, flexibility. It's more flexible in the online, asynchronous online than face-to-face. If you need training to use technologies in face-to-face, yeah, but better in distance educations. You have to think about that. You have to, maybe your students doesn't know how to use computer, how to use website, how to use many things, many technological tools. The other things is the directionality of the communications. It's hard to in class face-to-face. It's hard to have multi-directionality communications. Professor in front, 50 students in front of them. Let's talk about that. It's more easy. It's less easy than go on a discussion board and comment. You understand what I said. Why doing distance education for teachers? And important dimension is, if you teachers do distance education, you have to say that changing his role, or that's changing his task. For example, if you do asynchronous courses, you have to let's say plan and design and produce your material before you give your courses.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different, like face-to-face. Many. I know a lot of professors say, take the day before the sessions, and okay, where's my slide, what I do, and say run on that. It's easy way. And say, that if you do distance education, you have that's changing the job of the professors.
Less improvisation.
Yeah, less improvisation. It's possible, but if you do distance education, it's more easy to use different pedagogical and technological things, because you do a planning, you do a design for your courses, and you can say, okay, I will use video, I will use this one, I will use. You have more possibilities. Exactly. Exactly. Why doing distance education for teachers and institutions? An important dimension is the copyright. I don't know what is in Colombia, but in Quebec, in classroom, teachers can take anything and do his classes. But in distance education, you have to ask for the copyright. You have to consider that.
Or Creative Commons, or?
Well, we have Creative Commons, but the law and the policies say you have to ask and pay for the using. Yeah, and we don't it's not, it's different like in the United States that education have an exception, and in Canada we don't have it. And many times we produce our material because it's hard to find where we have to pay, and it's a long process. Sometimes we, for example, I have a video in the courses, and the video is online, but we pay for using this video, and it's not impossible, but it's a dimension to consider. The other things, it's the technical and technical learning for practicing learning. It's more easy on campus than online. So that's a reality. It's hard to do a chemistry lab online. It's not impossible. Sometimes we have, for the practice aspect, it's we can think differently. For example, if it's impossible to do a chemistry lab, maybe it's possible to use the lab facilities of some school or some industry in some area, and do a collaboration, say, okay, this day, is it possible to use your lab, send students with the technicians, do the lab. It's more hard to do, but it's not impossible.
Yeah.
It's collaboration between, the money too, but the money, but it's funny because we can do that between school and university too. Say, send your student to my lab, and I will send mine to yours. At the end, it's probably a win-win situation, and the cost will be even. But the competitions between college and university don't give opportunity to do that. But it's not impossible. You have to think differently. And why doing distance education for institutions? Increase the number of students, democratizations. The slide I showed to you. You do example. Every online courses and distance education can increase the number of students and give it as a democratization of the knowledge for the populations. The modernizations of the brand of the institutions. And in counterpart, the cost for development, the course development, it's more higher in distance education and online courses than campus courses. That's the work in progress I work on, and my goal, like I said, is to have an article to give answer for the teachers and most of the institution and the teachers to why I do distance education and in what I will go on. For students, it's about perceptions. I know some students choose some course online because like that, but it's more. You take decisions. Students take more decisions about which university I will choose than what kind of courses I will follow. Yeah, in the next weeks I will work on the other dimensions in the same way. Example, the student collaborations, how we work on that, how we can consider that. How to do exam for the evaluations exam if you want an evaluation with entity control, because it's a challenge in distance courses. For example, if you do the mediatizations of video, audio, and sometimes you understand it's the list that I show you is a work I do, and what I do in fact is read the basic books about distance education, because a lot of books are old, but no one synthesizes what I do now. If you check for this, if you check for these questions, why do distance education for students, institutions, and professors? Nobody write about that. That's
some are themes work next year.
Yeah, next month, and the dimensions that I show to you are dimensions comes in the discussions and in the training and about distance education, is it good or not? But it's a transversal. These dimensions are across The actors.
Education institutions, students, teachers, and researchers.
Yeah. Okay. If an institutions want to implement distance educations, there are many keys or many say crowbar to use. I don't know if it's just a word, but many
ways.
no, not many ways. I don't know.
Challenge.
Not many possibilities to help for the implementation.
French and English.
Yeah. In French, the word I would say levier. I don't know it in English. I know it. I don't know it. What is it? Okay, the first one. It's not in a importance by the element there are not the first one is not the most important, but it's one of the element. The time for design for faculty members. That's the key point. The faculty members needs time to develop material before the courses. And in the same way, the third one is need time, but maybe need money too.
To pay for this time.
Yeah, to pay for this time. It's possible to do that many ways, but sometimes you say this semesters you don't give your course, you work on your distance courses, and I will pay you for development courses. Sometimes it's to enroll a new professors or a new expert and say, I will pay you for the development, and after that, you will be the professor or the teacher for these courses. That's another way. But you have a contract for 3 months or 6 months or something like that. You need time and you need money. Or another way, say, okay, this semester you don't give your course, but we will enroll another professor or give your course to your students, and during these times you work on your distance courses. That's another way too. The institutions have to know that it's not except if you have a 10 courses and say, that's easy, you will turn on the computer, that will be okay. It's easy to ask that for professors, but you have some limits with that kind of course. That's what I showed before. Professors need pedagogical and technological supports and training too. And use a design process. I put a the design. There's no design, only one design process. Institutions have to know that it's possible to use a lot of design process. And if the professors or faculty members want to try something different, do a prototype or do a work in progress in this course, it's okay too. But if it's a concrete block design process, everyone will take this way. Some professors say, no, I don't want to do that. It will go away and find a solution, find an exit and don't want to do that. And maybe the first, maybe if professors say, I want to do distance education, but I want to start with these small things. Start with a bright course or start with a module online, and it's okay too. And
a few things.
Yeah, a few things, and grow on that. You can feel the distance part. You can, it's okay. It's a process. It's a learning for the faculty members too. You have to understand that. Like I said, training actors, faculty members, instructional designers. It's possible to craft a community of practice for the instructional designer. It's really useful because you can share the best practice, what you do in one course that doesn't work, and it's easy. And the same things, the institutions have to share the good courses and some lessons or some not sharing the bad course, but sharing what we learn.
Experiences.
Yeah, give some space for faculty members that doesn't work. Don't do that. Don't try that. But so it's hard to a professor to say I do bad, but it's not. You can
learn.
Yeah, you understand what I say. Work with the leaders and the university superstars.
Superstars?
Superstars, yeah. Maybe some professors are like say, what is a mouton? Sheep. It's the animal give wolves. What is the name of that? Wolves. What's it? No, des moutons. Des moutons.
Vous pouvez faire une description.
C'est l'animal qui a la laine sur son dos.
La vaca. For us is la vaca sagrada.
En anglais, c'est quoi la...
La vaca sagrada de vaca de cou.
Sí, pero no.
Okay.
Some professors are like that and check the others. And if an institution have a superstar, like a specialist and a more credible professors in a domain and wants to do distance educations, go on because the other professor go on after him. That's use your superstars and use your institutions can use these specific things or the distinction that they have than the other institutions. For example, here in La Salle, optical. That okay, if it's possible, do optical courses in distance education. The other don't have it. The other probably the other university can do that. It's a specific and it's more easy to combine and put let's say spread your course around the world or around the country because it's a specific things. Yeah. You understand what I say when I say and work with the leaders. Some faculty members and some administrator or leaders work with these people. Another key element for implementation is leadership by administrator. If the administration don't want distance education, it will be really hard to put in. And sometimes you have to administrator have to implement policies. Not at the beginning. Sometimes it's give opportunities, and after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, oh, okay, now we need some rules, some directions about that, and say follow the what's happened in your university. Maybe it will be different. Distance education in here it will be different than the other university. It's okay too, and administration have to know about that and do a leadership about that. In the same way, move to the far west or artisanal time to a structural development. Many universities have a far west time. That's the name I say. A guy say, I will do distance education and put camera in the back of my classes. That will be good. And others say, I will do 100 video capsule. With me slide with my words on. That will be okay. That's a distance education. But after 2 or 3 times, students say, oh, that doesn't good. Some other people say that's good, that doesn't good. It's a far west time. And say, after sometimes administration has to say, okay, we don't do that. We will go with that. And you understand what I say? It's an artisanal time or far west time, where each professors have the liberty to do what they want to do, but the chaos is less better than.
Yes.
It's important to after a few years to do a development plan. You can have it at the beginning, but I see in some university the administration each years go in each faculty and ask what do you want to do in distance education for the next years. What you have which course you have in distance education, which program, what's your plan for the next year or the next 3 years? And every years, the central administrations go in the faculty and say to the dean and say, what's your plan? We don't want to do distance education. That's okay. That's okay. We know that now. And if you change your mind next year, you will say. And if the central administration have money to give, don't give to this faculty. Give the opportunity, have a plan. And another thing I talk about is about the money. Money is not only for enroll some professors. Money can be used to give resources to the professor or for courses or a project. And I seen one at Laval University, it was $300,000 per year. It's not a lot of money. I think it's 0.2% of the budget of the university. It's really, but that's enough to start 25 new courses per year.
Ce n'est pas beaucoup d'argent.
No, 25 courses.
Oui.
After 10 years, it's 250 new courses.
Yeah.
That's why the Laval University have they have 988 courses. They build 25 to 40 new courses every year. Money, we need money, but give money to the right place, and the money the professors can use it. Okay, I will don't give my course, take my money, pay another guys. I will take money. I will enroll guys to develop my courses. It is
Maybe the important is the vision.
Yeah.
And the station of vision to give distance learning way.
Yep.
Le problème, ce n'est pas l'argent, c'est la vision est là.
Oui, tout à fait. C'est la vision. C'est like I said, leadership and the administrator have to share the good and the bad practice. I say that. The other things I talked to before, it's the instructional service have to follow. You have to think about that. And the final things is the quality is a process, not an achievement. It's really easy to find quality grid or what is the quality in distance educations. If the design a course, it's a process, the quality, it's a process too. You have to understand that. So maybe the first time it will be not the better course in the history, but the next time will be better. And you can work on that. And it's easy to ask quality in distance education, but many times when some people criticize the distance education with the quality, it's easy to say the grid you use to analyze and criticize the distance education, do you use it about face-to-face courses?
And you check quality in the end of the process,
right.
While the process of the making the course or working on.
For example, if you check a quality grid about distance education, say, does it use communication tools in the courses?
Check.
Okay, check, but in face-to-face, is it the course use it?
Another thing.
Yes, you understand what I say. Okay.
There is a question from our people. From the distance education types that you have you even worked in your practice or all
of them? In my practice,
what is the best or is necessary a mix between them?
Okay, I work. The only one I never work in, it's the flexible. I know about that type of course, but in my instructional designer career, I work in every kind of course, face-to-face to blended online courses. I do every one. I see a lot of things. Is it about the? So that's the first question. The second question is it? There's a mode of type of course as better. as better are there is a type to choose for an institutions. Okay, that's my mistake. I didn't like the course synchronous courses and the face-to-face with the ad of the camera for synchronous. I don't remember the name, but when it's a face-to-face courses with the camera in the back and for the student at distance. For me, that's the less quality courses for distance education. Why? It's not about it's more about the aspect of flexibility for the students, about the development of the autonomy, and it's about the you transfer the problem that appear in face-to-face courses. That's why that's my perceptions and my
Experience.
yeah my experiences. But if an institution want to do that, it's distance education. I will go on, but you probably have some problem to solve in few weeks or a few months or a few years. That's it. And for an institutions, I think I talk about the Far West time or the artisanal time. That's for an institution. It's give the opportunity to the faculty members to try distance education. And if you want to do a course in with a classroom with a camera in back, go on. Maybe I'm sure after one semester you will try to other things about that. And after 2 or 3 years, we'll probably finish with synchronous courses and asynchronous courses and blended courses. And some professors say, no, I don't want to do distance education. I will do hybrid courses and mix face-to-face and online courses or distance courses. That's okay too. You have to. Everyone has to learn about that, and it's different way to do distance education.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I hope I give the right answer, but.
No.
What I showed to you, it's a document came from Laval University. It's the design courses process, or the not design courses, the development process for distance courses and hybrid courses. For example, the first one is a preliminary phase. It's what I talk about the development plan. Every year, every faculty have to work on this development plan for distance and their hybrid courses. It's a structural plan. There's a vision about where we want to go or where we want to stay. It's okay. Development part, it's a design process. It's about to choose your collaborators and with what is the characteristic of the course and the program, what is the students will take the courses. It's a design process. It's a 12 steps, and after that, after the planification and the design, you say, okay, do the material before the courses. It's not revolutions. It's the base of the design process. But if you have a document and you share with the professor and instructional designer, it will not a surprise to what we have to do a hybrid or design courses. And the people do choice, technological, pedagogical choice after that. And it's important to know where you do choice, have the right informations, and respect the decisions that the professors do, because at the end, it's the professor are the person with the responsibility for this course.
Yeah.
For example, if the professor say, I want a camera in my back, it is this, the planning, the process, the design process will be more easy, and the result will probably be, not really good, but you want to do that, do it. But after that, after if you come and say, I want to try better, to do better, it's okay. Come, return at the start, the step one, and answer differently for the questions. That's it. That's a design process. And the two other parts, it's the diffusion part, it's the broadcasting part. We don't have I don't have a right word. It's like give the course part. It's in distance education, we talk about broadcasting or the diffusion and spreading of course, but in face-to-face, we would say we give the course, but it's different. Well, you have some administrative part to check, for example, be sure that your website, they don't have a broken link, a lot of thinking about that. Give to the student the information. When you take the courses, you have to know the information. If you need to buy a book, you need to know that before the course. You can call Amazon, but the Amazon, it takes some weeks sometimes to receive the books, and if the course starts, and it's not easy. And and the final, the blue part, it's a continuous improvement of the courses. It's important to, it's a cycle. It's a cycle, and take the perceptions of the student, take the evaluation from the student, take the notes that the professors take about the courses, and improve the course for the next time. It's not a revolution, like I said, but you have to, the actors in the design education have to know about it. There's no questions?
No, moment.
Okay. I don't take time, a lot of time about that. It's about my courses, actually. I have a course about what is distance education. I have two courses on that. Actually, what is distance education in the world? What is distance education and what is not? Okay. I have a course in pedagogical vision in education, like I said, management in school environment, management of systems of distance education. So intervention method in distance education. If as professor says, I want to try this in my courses, okay, and I want to do research on that. It's possible to do that. And finally, technology and learning in distance education. That's my course. Actually, I have this course under my responsibility. And my other colleague have a lot of courses. It's interesting, maybe interesting to collaborate about that. For example, communication in distance education, student supports in distance education, distance education and development. For example, how the distance education can be used in for the development of some people, some regions, some countries. It's possible. Sociology of education, virtual collaboration and learning. How to say how to have success in university studies. Many students, I talked in the beginning, 64% of our students doesn't know what is, doesn't have parents go to university before. Sometimes students have to learn about how to do say research project, how to do that kind of homework, that how to write a university text. Games.
Do you think it's normal, but do you need some help to improve when you are in the university as first time?
Yeah, that's a course we send some students at the beginning of the program, maybe, especially when we know that they have some learning to do in that about that. Games, simulations, role playing, design. We have a 2 or 3 course on design, project management in the technological education, in distance education. Let's say platform and let's say intelligent platform. We have a lot. We have the most important department on distance education and technological education in Quebec. We are 6 professors, everyone except Michel in the back, the old one is the old one, but me and the other have the same age, and we'll probably work together for the next 15 years. It's interesting. Yeah, it's a family, and we have a lot of course, and we have a lot of project, research project, and course project, and program project. That's what we do at the TELUQ University. Before I will take a. In the same way, and what we talk about, for example, constructivism before, the slide I showed to you, it's in another work. I work on that with my colleague Katia Papi. We do a schema about the theoretical trend, pedagogical trend, for example, behaviorism and humanism, cognitivism, connectivism, and other theoretical approach. The line under it's what is the definition of learning? Because different theory with the theory, the definition of learning is different. For example, in behaviorism, learning is if you do right, you have the control of your knowledge. But learning, for example, socio-constructivism is more a co-creation.
Yeah,
it's different. That's what we do. The third line, it's the technology. For example, behaviorism, no technology at this moment except the learning box as it's a mechanical systems. I don't know if you remember that, but after that start the computing and microcomputing, internet, mobile technology. That's the other where it appear in the history, and what's the interconnection between pedagogical theory, learning, and technology. And the last part is the technical tools we can use with this technology, with the definition of learning and the theoretical trend. The most old one is the quiz. You can every LMS platform have quiz, but it's interesting because it's the most old tool basically it's behaviorism approach. The quiz behaviorism, yeah, but you have other tools, for example, the serious games, virtual laboratory, concept mapping, let's say, journal de bord, c'est, let's see, a portfolio, email, where, wiki is.
Autre manière d'évaluer les étudiants.
Yeah, and that's what we think to try to put in a graphic. That's what we do. It's in a chapter of our book. But if you see this graphic, you see at this moment it's possible to do any things, but the sadness of the things is the LMS actually give only this few of tools. For example, discussion board for discussion, okay, email, okay, a quiz, okay, but if you want to use a wiki or use a blog, use concept mapping, it's all the time around, or it's not possible. Yeah, and that's the things I have to. I would say I'm sad about that, because actually all of the LMS trend is to do the same like the others, and I do that, I will do it, but never, no platform say we will try to integrate new tools that we know about that to be sure that professors can use it.
Only specific to the scores.
Yeah.
How do you get a score from the AMS without a concept map? How do you get a score from?
Is it really important to score a concept map?
No, but how can you how do you can use a concept map to get a score in a process to?
For me, concept map it's interesting tool to give to the students to work and think about content. After that, scoring a concept map is practically impossible.
No.
But you
Without a
can.
rubric?
The most easy way to score a concept map is ask to the students to write
Something about the concept.
500 words about to explain this concept map, and now it's more easy to score if the students learn well or not. That's or you can do an oral it's a presentation or oral presentation and explain your map. It's more easy to score that than score a concept map, because what we score, how many concept, how many links, how many
The evaluation concept too.
yeah, and a concept map it's if you try to do another concept map on the same things in 2 days, it's probably different.
Okay. But with the LMS and distance education, do you have to change? How do you think about evaluation?
No. It's a scoring process, and evaluations in distance education is the same.
Okay.
It's the same.
What do you evaluate in distance education? The same things? No.
The same things. You can use quiz. You can use redaction.
I mean, collaborative, constructivist.
You can use in evaluations. You can use the professor evaluations, the students evaluations, the peer evaluations. What is the next? I forget the other one. If it's a teamwork, the evaluation about the team working. That's, and you can mix that four kind of evaluations and give rubrics or not. It's possible to do that, like in face-to-face too. And it's impressive. I think LMS can give some tools to use that kind of evaluations in face-to-face and distance education, but many of them doesn't do that. I'm sad because in the beginning of LMS, everything was possible, but everything was possible. And if somebody say, "Oh, we will do that," but after a few years, yeah, every LMS do the same, and the evolutions. I have the perception that the evolutions stop, and stop about the final tools, concept mapping, blog, wiki, clouds, scoring process type of evolutions. That's all. But we will see what's happened in next
year.
Next. Okay. Question or comment? No? Finally, my research interest and trend, my actual research project at this moment is distance students supervision and new faculty member. For new faculty member, for example, a new professor or new faculty members start to do supervisions. How you do that? How you learn about that? That's one of my subject for research. Effect of using support tool for motivation, metacognition, and methodological. If professors try to implement that in the course, what is the effect about that? That's a trend I want to follow. They have a lot of possibilities to do research in distance education. Many of them is comparison before and after distance courses. It's easy to take data about the 5 past years in the course, scoring, global scoring, and to check about that. It's easy to do that. Student and faculty members about distance education, I would say student and faculty member perception about distance education. Use the learning analytics. That's an interesting trend, but few of the researchers know well about what is the really basement of the learning analytics. It's easy to say, is it the student go on this website or not, but what we do after that. You need a link with the information and the student supervision. That's why I want to do research about that. The other things I talked since yesterday, at the Universidad TELUQ we have a journal, international journal, and it's possible to propose text in Spanish too, and many kind of article are possible, investigations, sentence.
University works.
Yeah, university works. If a student, for example, say advanced masters students at the end of this master's process do a great works, it's possible to publish in the journal. The practical with a professional practice can share by this journal. For example, in instructional designer in a university do some things about distance, and can share about that. Discussion and debate, say interview, and finally synthesis of a lecture. And the journal, the name is Mediation and Mediatizations. It's most of the article, it's about distance education, but hybrid courses can work on that. You understand it. It's more global than only distance education. But if you have, if somebody want to propose some article, it's possible to do that. And maybe we will do we talked about that yesterday. Maybe we will do a special issue after our visit in Colombia.
Oh, okay. We have some journals that we can collaborate. Maybe we can work on them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Please.
at the end, because it's my last day here, espero entonces sinceramente que ambas instituciones puedan colaborar. Sorry for my Spanish. Yeah. Gracias por invitarme a tu casa. Un agradecimiento especial a Jairo por organizar estos 2 días entre ustedes.
Un placer.
Gracias también a Adriana, and for everyone, muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. Queremos agradecer al profesor Serge Gerin-Lajoie, bueno, en español, en inglés, en francés. Muchas gracias por estar con nosotros, muchas gracias por su participación en este encuentro. Queremos, pues, thank you for your presentation, all of your experience and data on what we can do with distance education, the concepts of all of your information to clarify our thinking about this distance education. I think we would take this presentation, this webinar, to make some improvements on call you for more research matters on collaboration issues between our universities.
Yeah,
thank you very much for your help. Thank you for your presentation. Thank you for being here. Thank you. We are closing this presentation. Agradecemos a todos ustedes su presencia. Gracias por acompañarnos en este escenario en el que hemos podido aprender un poco más acerca de la educación a distancia, cómo podemos mejorar la manera en la que la entendemos aquí en la Universidad de La Salle y pues colaborar con el profesor Serge. Gracias a nuestro estudiante por acompañarnos y pues esperamos esta grabación tenga efecto en la posteridad. Muchas gracias por estar con nosotros. Hasta más adelante.